Hello friends, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching News on Map India segment by DRISHTI IAS. Today's episode is quite special because you know that exam is around the corner, and considering that we have made a special episode for your UPSC examination under Target series, that is Target UPSC 2024 special. We will go for revision of all the things which we have read till now. We will go for all the important locations which has been in news in the past 1 year. So you will be seeing something which we have already discussed, so that will help you revise. We will go by segments, like we will first talk about particular area like Northeastern region. We will talk about tiger reserves. We will talk about let's say some species. We will talk about certain other aspects of the locations which has been in news. Okay, this will be the first episode. On the similar lines, there will be news on map world as well. Okay, so that you can boost your preparation when we are talking about your UPSC 2024 exam. So all the best, and let's start with the episode number 1 of Target series. Okay, so here in this we will be discussing few important topics from the northeastern states. We will go in the same format, that is we will start with the questions and we will go into the details of the locations. Okay, there will be more than regular questions. In regular episodes we go for 8 to 10 questions, and in this episode we will go for at least 20 questions. Okay, so let's start with the first question, which is related to your northeastern region. Okay, consider the following countries: Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh. With which of the above given countries India has a free movement regime? Okay, we will be little bit faster in this particular episodes because we have to cover 20 questions, and second thing is that these are your revision series which we have already discussed. Okay, so when we are talking about this free movement regime, okay, we had this free movement regime with Myanmar, okay, that has been suspended, and there are talks to terminate it altogether. Okay, so Myanmar was the country with which we had the free movement regime. Otherwise, when we are talking about the open borders are different from your free movement regime. Okay, so that is a special, you can say, arrangement which has been made with Myanmar in 2018, which has been recently suspended. In Myanmar, it started in 2018 because in that time Myanmar has a democratic government, and that is why we started a free movement regime wherein people from Myanmar when we are talking about the boundary here in India and Myanmar, so these people can travel from one part to another part up to a distance of 16 kilometers in each other's territory. Okay, so that was because these people living in this particular area has the cultural affinity. Okay, but recently in Myanmar there are certain, you can say, revolts which are going on, or you can say certain protests are going on. These are pro-democracy protests because Myanmar right now has a military junta government, and that is why we are considering this to suspend or to terminate this free movement regime. Okay, but when we are talking about the option 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, all of the above, none of the above. Okay, so since we can say that 1 only is not an option, we will go for the none of the above because right now this free movement regime is suspended. Okay, so none of the above is your right answer. Now coming to the locations here, when we are talking about the border areas, okay, so India and China has a border, this particular area. Okay, there are various, you can say, Union Territory of Ladakh is there on the border. Then we have Himachal Pradesh, we have Uttarakhand, and then when we are talking about this particular area, Sikkim, we will talk about this area because there was this standoff, Doklam standoff was there, and Chumbi Valley here is quite important. Okay, Chumbi Valley. Other than that, there is this one Nathula Pass which is also important for you. So these are certain areas which are important over here, and other than that we have this Chinese border with Arunachal Pradesh as well. There was this issue of stapled visa. Okay, I hope you remember that we have discussed this several times. So that is about the India-China border. Okay, important factor here is that McMahon line. India recognized McMahon line. Okay, so that is another thing. Okay, when we are talking about India and Nepal border, you know that these Uttarakhand, then Uttar Pradesh, and then Bihar has this, you can say Bihar, and you can see here Sikkim also has this boundary with Nepal. Okay, then when we are talking about the, you can say, longest border, if we see, so we have with Bangladesh here. Okay, so there are states like West Bengal, Tripura and Mizoram, they have border with Bangladesh. And then when we are talking about Indo-Pakistan border, this is around 3,323 kilometers. Okay, so Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat has this particular border. Here one important factor is Sir Creek Okay, so remember for your prelims, Sir Creek is a disputed area over here. Other than that, you know that the Pir Panjal has been in news. Rajouri, Poonch area has been in news. So please remember all those things. Please remember the you can say mountain ranges over here. We have Jangsar range, we have Karakoram range, then we have Pir Panjal over here. This is Karakoram. There is Jangsar. Then we have Pir Panjal somewhere over here, Dholadhar, etc. So please remember the order of these mountain ranges as well. That will be important for you. Okay. So I hope this map is clear. Now another country is Myanmar, with which we have border. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. And if we talk about the Myanmar border, longest is being shared by the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. So here this is the longest. Okay. This Myanmar was in news because of the free movement regime, which we have suspended, and we are talking about terminating it. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now moving further, we have discussed all these things. There are certain regional groupings like we have SAARC, then we have BIMSTEC. Okay, so recently BIMSTEC was in news. So please, BIMSTEC has got you can say status of legal personality. Okay. So for that, BIMSTECs become important. BIMSTEC has 7 members. Okay, 7 members. So please remember who are the 7 members over here. You can go through them. Okay. So SAARC, BIMSTEC, all the regional organizations you can remember. Okay. Now moving further, we have talked about all these things. When we are talking about the Indo-China border, it is an open border because of the harsh climate. Okay, when we are talking about the Indo-Nepal and Indo-Bhutan border, because of the cultural affinity and the good relations, we have open borders over here. When we are talking about the Indo-Myanmar border, here we had the free movement regime within 16 kilometers, which has been suspended. Then when we are talking about the Indo-Pakistan and Indo-Bangladesh border, these are fenced borders because of the when we are talking about Bangladesh, there was issue of infiltration, or you can say migration. And when we are talking about the Indo-Pakistan border, issue of infiltrations were there because of terrorist activities, etc. Okay. Now moving further, next question is related to your Northeastern region as well. Consider the following statement: the state is ready to set up first integrated aqua park. First integrated aqua park they are talking about. Second, 3/4 of the state's population is estimated to be the fish consumer. Okay. So that is a second statement which is talking about a particular state. Then the state needs to import fish from adjoining country and other Indian states to fulfill its needs. Okay, despite the you can say fish production over here, they are still importing it. The above mentioned statements refers to which state? Mizoram, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Tripura. Answer here is Tripura. This particular state was in news because of this activity which is there. It is quite you can say fish consuming state. It is there, and they are going for imports to you can say fulfill their demands. Here you can see this is the first integrated aqua park which has been set up in the state of Tripura. Okay, this is not India's first. I am saying it is state's first integrated aqua park. Okay, here you can see it is an effort to boost the employment, because once there is some kind of aquaculture etc. started over there, that will boost the employment opportunity. And there is this Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, under which they have got the funds. So please go through this particular scheme as well. While Tripura produced 85,000 metric tons of the fish locally, still they have to import nearly 30,000 metric tons to fulfill their demands. Okay, so that is kind of the consumption Tripura has. Okay, and this is the area where this particular aqua park has been located in Tripura. Okay, now moving further. Question number 3, consider the following statement: the Manas river is transboundary in Himalayan foothills between southern Bhutan and India. The Chumbi valley is connected to Sikkim to the southwest via mountain passes of Nasula. We have talked about Nasula. I'll tell you about it. So when we are talking about this particular question, both the statements are correct. Okay, when we see Manas river comes from Bhutan and enters into you can say India in the Assam state. And when we are talking about Chumbi valley, it is basically a area of tri-junction between India, Bhutan and China. Okay, you must have heard about this area, that is Doklam. Okay, Doklam is located around the Chumbi valley. Okay, so that is why both of them is correct. When we are talking about the connecting link, that is Nasula. Here we can see in this particular area. So this is the larger Brahmaputra river. There are 3 Dihang, Dibang and Lohit. These 3 rivers actually they come together and form the larger Brahmaputra river. So please remember this fact. Okay, and now this is Brahmaputra. There are right side tributaries, there are left bank tributaries. Please remember the important tributary, like we have Siang, we have Subansiri, we have this Manas over here, Shankosh we have, okay, Teesta we have. These are all right bank tributaries. When we are talking about the left bank here, Lohit is there, Dhansiri is there, Kopili is there, okay, so these are the left bank tributaries. Please remember all these tributaries. Now when we are talking about the Manas, here you can see this is Bhutan, from where Manas is coming and entering into India. Okay, so this is the trans-boundary river. Now coming here, you can see this area over here. This is basically Chumbi Valley, this is Sikkim, this is Bhutan, and this is China. Okay, so this is the area that is Chumbi Valley. Now you can see that how strategic this location is, because if China gets to this particular area, or they have the larger presence in this particular area, what will happen is that they will get you can say nearer to the Siliguri corridor. This is Siliguri corridor. Now the importance of Siliguri corridor is that it connects the you can say northeastern states of India with the other states. Okay, when we are talking about the other part of the India, which is basically connected to northeastern states from this small patch of land. Okay, so that is why we see that there are developmental issues which was there, because for a long time these states were not given the importance they deserve. Okay, why? Because there was this connectivity related issues. Okay, now that issues has been sorted out by the various projects which are there. When we are talking about the IMT trilateral highway is there, we have this Kaladan project. All these projects are there so that we can connect to the northeastern states. Okay, so this Siliguri corridor is quite important. If China get access to this particular part, we can lose the connectivity with the northeastern states. Okay, so that is about Siliguri corridor. Chumbi Valley we have already seen. When we are talking about the Chumbi Valley and the Sikkim, this Nathula Pass is there, which is connecting us to the Chumbi Valley. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now we can move further. Question number 4 says that Galepu Smart City project is related to which of the following? Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka and China. Recently there was this Bhutan visit by the Prime Minister, despite there are elections in the India. So there was this visit which has happened, and which says that Bhutan is quite important for us. In that particular visit, this you can say Galepu Smart City project was also in news. Other than that, when we are talking about, there was this certain railway links which has been talked about, that is Galepu Kokrajhar. Okay, Kokrajhar, when we see, this is in Assam and Galepu is in Bhutan, so that is a area which has been in news, so please remember that as well. Then we are talking about Bhutan, there is this Sakteng Wildlife Sanctuary which is located in Bhutan. Please remember that it is in Bhutan and not in India, and this China has started to claim that this area belongs to China. Earlier they did not say such things, okay, but last 2-3 years they are asserting that this wildlife sanctuary, that is Sakteng, is belonging to China. Okay, so that is about Bhutan. Now let's talk about certain important target reserves which has been in news. Okay, now let's see. Question number 5. In the context of the Theppakadu elephant camp, consider the following statement. It is one of Asia's oldest elephant camps located in the Madumalai Tiger Reserve. Second is British established to train elephants to carry timber since the region is dominated by the teak and rosewood. Third statement is the people belonging to the Betta, Kurumbar, Kuttunayakar and Malasar tribes managing the Theppakadu elephant camp. Okay, when we are talking about these 3 statements, all of them are true. Okay, there was this movie, that Elephant Whispers. Okay, so this movie was in news, and because of which this area was in news. Okay, when we are talking about this particular camp, this is in Madumalai Tiger Reserve, and this is famous for the elephants over there, and they are using the traditional method to train these elephants. Okay, so these are the tribes Beta Kurumbar, Kattunayakar and Malasar. Okay, so all of the statements here are correct. Now moving further, here you can see these maps. When we are talking about the movie, that is Elephant Whisperers, wins the Oscar award for the best documentary or short documentary. So that is why this has been in news, and after which our president has also visited this area, and they have appreciated the fact that the traditional knowledge has been utilized by these communities to train the elephants over here. Okay, so that is about your Theppakadu sanctuary. Here you can see the location. This is the Theppakadu elephant camp, and this is in the Madumalai Wildlife Sanctuary, and it is in the state of, here you can say, in Tamil Nadu, on the border of, you can say, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, but authorities are with Tamil Nadu over here. Okay, and other than that, when we are talking about Tamil Nadu, there are other prominent protected areas like Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. Now about Satyamangalam, UPSC has already asked this question, so please keep a note on that. Then Annamalai is there. Then we have Kalakkad, Manturai. Okay, so these are areas which are basically prominent in Tamil Nadu when we are talking about the tiger reserve. Okay, now moving further over here, question number 6, in the context of Similipal Tiger Reserve, consider the following statements. Okay, Similipal is named after red silk cotton samul trees which are found abundantly in the Odisha. This statement is correct. Then Similipal Tiger Reserve is the only habitat in the world which has melanistic tigers. Melanistic tigers are basically a tiger. They are normal tigers which there was some kind of gene mutation which has happened, because of which they have a specific color. Okay, or they are also called as black tigers. Okay, so both of these statements are correct. Option C is your right answer. Here you can see, this is Similipal. It is in Odisha. Okay, there are other areas in Odisha like Satkosia, which is quite in news. Okay, other than that, you must have heard about this Bhitarkanika. Okay, and there was this Gahir Mata. These areas like Bhitarkanika and Gahir Mata, these are quite important for the olive ridley turtles. Okay, these are basically breeding sites or the nets where these turtles are going for the laying eggs. So these are also known as Aribada. Okay, so I hope this is clear from your this Odisha part. Other than that, there are protected areas which are given over here, whichever is in news, so you can talk about that. Early, I will tell you that you can remember Panna, you can remember Sariska, you can remember Ranthambore, Ramgarh Vistari and Mukundra. These has been in news. Okay, other than that, when we are talking about this particular area, Pench has been in news. Okay, and Tadoba Andhari, because recently there was this you can say translocation of has happened. Okay, from Tadoba Andhari to Sahyadri. Okay, so that is also important for you. Other than that, if you see over here, Anamalai is quite important. Satyamangalam, as I told you, this is quite important. Nagarjuna Sagar, this Srisalam is important for you. Okay, Satkosia, as I told you. Achanakmar, Amarkantak, this is in, so that is also important. Dampha is important. Kaziranga, northeastern region, if we are talking about, all the protected areas are quite important over here. Okay, all the rivers of this particular area, all the protected areas, all the hills are quite important, because recently we have seen that the focus has been shifted to that particular place. Okay, so please remember all these things. Now, moving further over here, you can see, as I told you, Similipal is there, then Bhitarkanika is there, and when we are talking about the Gahir Mata, here you can see Gahir Mata is there. Other than that, one more important place is Rishikulia. Rishikulia protected area is there, which is also part of your olive ridley turtles nesting sites. Okay, so please remember that as well. Okay, now Samul tree, this is the Samul tree which is quite famous when we are talking about Odisha, and on the name of this particular tree we have this Similipal reserve. Okay, this is the rare melanistic tiger. Here you can say these are having this black strip over here. So these are called as black tigers, or the you can say melanistic tigers. Okay, here you can see the rare melanistic tigers with the distinctive dark stripe patterns are Bengal big cats which has a gene mutation. Okay, and they are only found in the Similipal Tiger Reserve. Okay, I hope that is clear. Next is your question number 7. In the context of Pench Tiger Reserve, consider the following statements. It is first one to straddle across two states, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Second, it derives names from its lifeline, that is the river Pench. The Pench Tiger Reserve, PTR, in Maharashtra has marked as India's second dark sky park. Okay, now if we are talking about these two statements, these are correct. When we are talking about Pench, Pench is located in both Maharashtra as well as your you can say Madhya Pradesh. Okay, when we are talking about it derives the name from the river Pench, this is also true, quite general and the logical statement. When we are talking about this third statement, it is not the second, it is the first dark sky park. Okay, so please remember that this is the first one. And when we are talking about the dark sky reserve, we have already discussed that in India, the first dark sky reserve is designated in Henle, Ladakh. Okay, so please remember this. Henle Observatory is there in Ladakh. Recently it was in news because of the aurora which has been seen, aurora borealis which has been seen in this particular area as well. Generally, when we are talking about these auroras, this is the phenomena of poles. But in the recent last 2 weeks back, there was this event which has happened, and these aurora has been seen up to the lower latitude as well in USA, India as well. Okay, so here option B would be a right answer, that is only two, first and second. Okay, Here you can see when we are talking about the Pench is in MP as well as, okay, other than that, when we are talking about the other areas which can be important from Madhya Pradesh point of view, that is you can say Kuno because of the relocations which has happened, okay. Then there is this Panna, okay. Panna has also, this Panna Tiger Reserve has been in news because of the Ken Bethwa river water linking project, okay. So that is there because when we are talking about the Ken Bethwa, the surplus water from the Ken is to be transferred to the Bethwa river, and for that there was certain infrastructure which has to be created, and that has Panna has been part of that particular area in which this infrastructure is building. So environmentalist has certain concerns with respect to that, okay. So I hope that is clear. Then Durgavati Wildlife Sanctuary, the status has been changed, so please go through that and check it, okay. So that is about your Madhya Pradesh protected area. Now when we are talking about the Pench river, this is your Pench river which is going through this particular area, okay. So that is why you can say this is the Pench reservoir over here, and this is basically you can say your map of Tiger Reserve. Here question number 8, in the context of Pakke Tiger Reserve, consider the following statements. It is located in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Pakke Paga Hornbill Festival is the state festival of the Arunachal Pradesh, okay. So when we are talking about the location, it is in the Arunachal Pradesh, so that is correct. When we are talking about Pakke Paga, this was recently celebrated in Arunachal, so that is also correct. Both C and so both 1 and 2 would be your right answer, okay. Here you can see when we are talking about the location, here this is your Pakke Tiger Reserve, and here you can see this particular festival Pakke Paga has been celebrated, okay, and it is in Arunachal Pradesh. Now next is your important species which has been in news. So whenever we are talking about this species, there are certain areas from which these species will be important. So let's start with the first one over here. So question number 9, which of the following statement is not correct about the Namdapha flying squirrel, okay. It is endemic to Meghalaya in the northeastern India. The squirrel is about the 25th most wanted lost species identified by the Global Wildlife Conservation Search for Lost Species Initiative, okay. C is it is a nocturnal flying squirrel, and D is the species was named after the Namdapha flying squirrel after the location it was discovered in, okay. So this statement is correct because this was discovered in Namdapha. It is a nocturnal flying squirrel. This is also correct. When we are talking about UPSC has recently started asking questions related to the species also from their behaviors, okay. So that is an important, you can say, statement for you because they can ask you about it, okay. Now the squirrel is among the 24th most wanted lost species identified the Global Wildlife Conservation Search for the Lost Species. This is also correct, okay. Now when we are talking about the first statement, that is incorrect because Namdapha is not in Meghalaya, it is in Arunachal Pradesh, okay. So option A is your right answer over here because that statement is wrong. Now recently Namdapha flying squirrel has resurfaced in Arunachal Pradesh after going missing for 42 years, and now that is why this is among the 25 most wanted lost species, okay. So because for 42 years it has been not witnessed in that particular area, and now recently it has resurfaced. That is why it becomes even more important. As I told you, it is a rare nocturnal flying species and it is found first in Namdapha 1981, okay. So this is the picture of this particular species. Now we can move further to the location. When we are talking about Namdapha, this is somewhere over here and this is your Arunachal Pradesh, okay. Now we can move further. Arrange the following states and union territories in descending orders of their estimated population of snow leopard: Ladakh, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, okay. So you have to arrange them in the descending order. So largest population of these snow leopards is found in Ladakh. These are snow leopards, so obviously they will be found in the cold as well as the hilly areas, okay. So first is Ladakh, second is your Uttarakhand, third is Himachal Pradesh, fourth is Arunachal Pradesh, fifth is Sikkim, okay. So here you can see the you can say 1, 2, 3, then there will be 4 and 5, okay. So that is option A is your right answer. Now here you can see this is the population which is given. These are the area, or this is the range in which you will find the snow leopards. They are found in the Himalayan ranges, so you can say this is your Himalayas, okay. Himalayas goes something like this. like this. Okay, we have Purvanchal Himalayas over here, so that is why in Ladakh we find it. In Jammu Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh we find these snow leopards, and the maximum population is found in Ladakh, and then in Himachal Pradesh, then Ladakh, then Uttarakhand, then in Himachal Pradesh, then Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim and then Jammu Kashmir. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now total number as per the last census, that is 718. Now question number 12, in which of the following state India's first center for research on conserving the endangered Gangetic dolphin, National Dolphin Research Center, was inaugurated recently? So when we are talking about the institutional mechanism related to your Gangetic dolphins, these are located in Bihar, because that is the area where these are found in prominence. Okay, so Bihar, other than this particular center which has been launched recently, there is other center, that is Vikramshila Dolphin Sanctuary is there, that is in Bhagalpur, Bihar. So please remember that this dolphin is also known as Susu, because they actually use the ultrasound, okay, for their navigation, because they are almost blind. Okay, and that is why, because of which they send some kind of sound waves, and these sound waves are having this noise like Susu noise, and that is why they are also known as Susu dolphins. Okay, now the answer is Bihar. Here you can see there are certain areas when we are talking about this particular conservation center that is inaugurated in Bihar. Here you can see certain facts are given about dolphin, which we have already discussed. Okay, you can go through this particular data. And threats, when we are talking about habitat destruction, pollution, and then bycatch, climate change and the hunting. And when we are talking about the conservation effort, there is this Project Dolphin which started in 2021 on the lines of the Project Tiger. Then there is this National Dolphin Research Center which is there in Bihar. Then, as I told you, Vikramshila Sanctuary is there in Bihar. Okay, and there is this Hastinapur Sanctuary which is proposed and not yet established. Okay, when we are talking about the IUCN status, that is endangered, and it is Appendix 1 species in the CITES. Okay, this is protected under the Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now question number 13, in the context of Kuno National Park, consider the following statements. It is the only national park in India that is home to cheetahs. Second is the sanctuary derived its name from the meandering Kuno river that graces the region. Okay, they are asking you which of the following statement is not correct. Okay, so when we are talking about it is the only national park which has the this is home to cheetah. So this is correct, because recently cheetahs has been reintroduced from Africa to India in Kuno. Okay, there were 3 potential sites. Kuno has been chosen. Okay, the sanctuary derives its name from the Kuno river. That is statement is correct. So they are asking you not correct. So option D is the right answer over here. Here you can see in Madhya Pradesh we have, in this area we have Kuno. In this map it is quite clear. Kuno has in the northern region of Madhya Pradesh, and here you can see we have this river, Kuno river, which is tributary of basically Chambal, and Chambal in turn is a tributary of Yamuna. So you can say that it is part of your Yamuna basin. So that is true. Now moving further, here you can see that there were 3 potential sites wherein we were supposed to send these cheetahs. One is in Rajasthan, second was in Kuno Palpur, that is where they have been sent, and third was Noradehi in MP itself. Okay, after a lot of debate and discussions, this Kuno has been chosen. Okay, important rivers which has been in news. So let's start with the next question. Here question number 14, recently Manipur is in news. Consider the following statement. Ithai Dam is built on the Manipur river. It acts as an artificial reservoir to maintain sufficient water volume in the Loktak lake. Okay, the dam has caused water level to remain high year round and preventing the Fumris from sinking and reaching the lake bed for nutrients. As a result, the Fumris are slowly thinning and breaking apart. Okay, how many of the following statements are correct? Okay, so when we are talking about this particular statements, all the statements here are correct. When we are talking about this Ithai Dam, that is on the Manipur river, and this act as an artificial reservoir. When we are talking about, okay, this Loktak lake is important for you because that is the world's only floating lake, you can say. Then here you can say the dam has caused water level to remain high year round, preventing the Fumris from sinking and reaching to the lake bed for the nutrients. Fumris are basically some plants which are there, or you can say there is this is the floating lake. So there are these plants. Fumris are floating plants, and they used to go to the sink and go to the river near the river bed and take nutrients from them. But because of the high level of the water, they could not go there, and that is why these Fumris are slowly thinning. Okay, so option C is your right answer over here. Here you can see when we are talking about the Loktak basin, this is the Loktak basin over here, and this is Manipur state, and this river over here, okay, that is basically your Manipur river, okay, and on this Manipur river we have this Ithai barrage, okay. So I hope that is clear. Here you can see this is Loktak and this is Ithai barrage somewhere over, and this is the Manipur river, okay, and these is the, you can say, phumris, okay. So these are the plant like structures which are floating over the river, okay. Now moving further, consider the following statement about the geography of Ladakh region. Ladakh, as I told you, has been in news recently. There was some protest which has been there for the autonomy, etc. Now for the statehood, basically. Ladakh is a union territory in India known for its cold desert landscape. Second statement is the region is bordered by Karakoram mountains in the north and the Great Himalayas in the south. Ladakh is transferred by the river Indus. Okay. How many of the which of the following statements are correct, basically? Okay. Now, when we see at this statement, as I told you, Ladakh in the further map, I had told you that there is Karakoram range, then there is this Dangsar, and then further there are Himalayan ranges. So, it is a union territory in India known for the desert landscape which we have seen, and here because of this cold desert we have this snow leopards as well. Okay. So that is correct. The region is bordered by the Karakoram in the north and the Great Himalayas in the south. That is also correct. And it is transferred by the Indus River. All the statements here are correct. Option D is your right answer. So here you can see this is the location of Ladakh. This is Karakoram range. Okay. Then these are the Himalayas over here. Okay. And Ladakh is somewhere over here. Okay. Now moving further, here you can see this is the area and these are the Himalayan ranges and this is desert plains. These are basically your you can say cold desert. So please remember that. Okay, this is Karakoram. Ladakh itself is a range, part of Himalayas. Okay, and these are Zanskar, and further we have the Great Himalayas. Okay, so basically that is about it. Next question is the Parvati and the Kali Sindh river, which were recently in news, are tributaries of which of the following rivers? Chambal, Betwa, Ken, Narmada. So basically here they are tributaries of Chambal river. Okay, here you can see. Here you can see this is the Chambal river, and this is your Kali Sindh. And this is Parvati river, which are coming and meeting to Chambal over here, and Chambal is in turn going and meeting to Jamuna. So they are a part of your Jamuna basin. Here you can see there was the signing of memorandum of understanding on the modified Parvati Kali Sindh Chambal ERCP, that is PKC ERCP link project amongst the state of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan and the government of India. Okay, so that is why these rivers were in. Last part is the important coastal regions which we will be discussing. Okay, so here you have the question number 17. Regarding the Lakshadweep, consider the following statement. Indian Navy commissioned Naval Detachment Minicoy as INS Jatayu in the strategically important Minicoy Island. Okay. Then there is this INS Jatayu is the first naval base in the Lakshadweep. You have to choose the correct option. When we are talking about the first statement, that is correct. They have commissioned INS Jatayu over here, but it is not the first one. It is, there is already one, that is Dweep Rakshak. Okay, so that is already commissioned over here. So that is not the first one. Okay, so only one would be your right answer. That is A. Here you can see this is your Lakshadweep. Now this Lakshadweep has been in news because there was this visit by Prime Minister. Several, you can say, projects has been started over here. Okay, and you know that this Maldivian controversy also has happened at that particular point of time. And in the, you can say, southern part we have this Minicoy Island. Okay, and over here, since it is in the Indian Ocean between Maldives and India, and that is why it becomes on the strategic location. And here we have commissioned INS Jatayu on the Minicoy Island. Okay, then it is you can say there are certain you can say islands of the Lakshadweep which are quite important, that is Kavarati and then Kalpeni, and then there is this Agati Island. These are please certain islands which are quite important for you to please remember these. Okay, and here when we are talking about the Karavati, we have this Dweep Rakshak over here. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now moving further, question number 18 says the Krishna-Godavari basin is predominantly situated in which Indian state? Rajasthan, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. This is an easy question. Andhra Pradesh is the answer over here. You can see here, this is the coast over here, and here this is Krishna-Godavari basin, okay, in the Andhra Pradesh, and then here we have this, you can say Tamil Nadu region. Here Kaveri is there because the Puducherry, and this is the area where Kaveri forms the plateau, delta. And when we are talking about the another river, that is Palar and Pennar rivers. Okay, so Palar is a river in Andhra Pradesh. So that is also important, and they are forming the delta between these two, Krishna-Godavari and the Kaveri. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now moving further, here you can see these are the areas, Godavari. Okay, then we have Krishna river, then we have these are in the Andhra Pradesh, and I would like you to go and see on the coastal region what is the order of the deltas which are formed over here, and what are the lakes which are present on the coastal areas. Please go through the Kerala as well, because they are asking about the backwaters, etc. There are various small lakes which can be important for you. Okay. Now moving further over here, question number 19. In the context of the Gulf of Mannar Marine Biosphere Reserve, consider the following statements. It is the first marine biosphere reserve in South and the Southeast Asia. Second is the reserve is located in the state of Tamil Nadu. Third is the Gulf is located where the southward extension of Bay of Bengal meets the Indian Ocean. It is classified as the Marine National Park and recognized as the World Heritage Site. Okay, how many of the above mentioned statements are correct? Okay, so here you can see that there are all of these statements which are basically correct. All of them is the correct answer. Okay, let's come to the maps over here. You can see this is the Bay of Bengal. It is the southward extension of Bay of Bengal is, and when we are talking about this Gulf of Mannar, this is the southward extension of Bay of Bengal meeting the Indian Ocean over here. Okay, so that is basically your Gulf of Mannar. It is in Tamil Nadu. Okay, and this is actually you can say biosphere reserve and a World Heritage Site. Okay, so please remember that. Other than that, in that particular area of this park strait here, there is this one island over here, that is Lakshadweep. Okay, so this island has been in news. Other than that, somewhere over here we have one other area, that is Wedge Bank. So this has also been in the news. So please keep a tap on these locations as well. Okay, now moving further, here you can say question number 20. This will be the last question for the day. Consider the following statement. First is the ancient city of Dholavira, the southern center of the Harappan civilization, is sited on the island of Khadir in state of Gujarat. Second statement says that the run of Kutch is famous for its white salty desert sand, and it is reputed to be the largest salt desert in the world. Third is the Kutch Desert Sanctuary in the Gujarat is only area where flamingos breed regularly. Okay, so these are three statements given, and they are asking you which of the following is not correct. Okay, so considering all these statements, you can say that all the statements are correct over here. So option D would be your right answer. We will see when we are talking about this Dholavira. Dholavira is in Gujarat. Okay, it is on the Khadir Island. We will see that also. Okay, and then when we are talking about the run of Kutch, it is the largest salt desert in the world. Okay, and it is called wild salty desert because of the appearance. Okay, so here you can see this is basically the area of Gujarat, and here we have this small you can say area wherein there is this Khadir Island. On the Khadir Island you can see this Dholavira. On the Khadir Island you have Dholavira, and this is basically part of run of Kutch Lake. Okay, so again coming to this particular area, here you can see this is run of Kutch Lake. Okay, and in that particular lake there is this Khadir Island. On the Khadir Island we have Dholavira. Okay, in the vicinity of this particular area, another site which has been in news, that is basically Juna Khatia. This area has been in news because there were 500 graves of that particular area has been found in that region, and in the vicinity of this Juna Khatia, nearly 150 kilometers away, there is this Padta Bet village is there. In that particular village, a separate grave is found. Okay, these are all belonging to your Harappan civilization. Okay, so that is why this area becomes important. Other than that, you know that in Gujarat we have a dockyard, that is Lothal, that is also from the Harappan site. So that all these areas you can remember from your maps point of view. Okay, so I hope this is clear over here. We have talked about this Dholavira, etc. Okay, and this is basically the area of great run of Kutch. Here you can see this is having a white you can say appearance, and because of which it is called as the white salty desert. Okay, I hope that is clear. And there is this Kutch Desert Wildlife Sanctuary which is located in this particular area of Gujarat. So remember that as well. Okay, with that I would like to take your leave, and I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Thank you and prepare well.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.